Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Avery. I am the creator of this YouTube channel SimSynthesis, where I do speed builds and challenges focusing around The Sims 4. I also do want to do some gameplay, but that will come later. You can find me on Facebook and on Twitter. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and then of course always share if you can. I do a little bit of a different kind of challenge. I challenge myself to recreate floor plans, and that's what we're gonna do in today's video, is recreate a floor plan. This floor plan in particular on the screen now. So when I start a floor plan challenge, as I like to call it, I find the floor plan and try to replicate it as much as possible. Sometimes I use unlimited funds, and sometimes I try to do it with minimalistic funds. In this case, we bought a lot and now we're building the house. So I only had $18,000 to spend on replicating this house. It's a smaller house. It's not a huge house. It's not a mansion or anything like that. So I didn't really feel like I had to worry about funds, but I was kind of frugal a little bit when it came to decorating. So when I start these builds, I always just make a mock-up of the house. I don't care what the windows look like, what the doors look like. I just try to replicate the house as much as possible. As you can see in the picture, I was just really trying to match the mock-up picture to my build. And once I get to that point, and the same with the layout on the inside, because I want to make sure the sizes are right and how it feels in the layout. And sometimes we can't match the layout that is provided for us in The Sims, because in The Sims, not all layouts are practical, because little 1x1 rooms are not very practical at all. And this floor plan had a couple of them, and closets aren't practical either. So there's the mock-up that I made to match the mock-up of the house. And then once I'm satisfied, I go through and I try to continue to match the mock-up. This mock-up, of course, is kind of green and dark browns. Well, not really green and dark browns, but it's more green and like a new wood looking, fresh, unstained wood look. And I couldn't get it to work because the lighting in the game is so specific. You kind of have to just play around and do what you can to make the house look normal and not weird. I try to make these houses so they're not weird, if that makes any sense at all. I ended up just going with white wood because it looked more fresh, more clean. And I ended up just having to change the whole color scheme, which ends up happening. We can't replicate everything that we see. I wish we could in The Sims. I wish it was 100% customizable, but I digress. So I added the stairs in. There's no stairs in the mock-up, but of course the Sim needs to get in and out. And I do test it out a lot to make sure that my Sim can access these items. And I'm just adding the final touches on the outside using the white, and then of course redoing the windows where the windows are placed, the doors, because obviously the initial doors that I chose did not work at all. And I don't know why the fireplace had that little glitch for a second, but there was no fireplace that I liked either. And I was doing my best to just find something to make it work. Now, if you're curious, I do have the Move Objects cheat on. That's the only cheat that I am using. I don't use the Hidden Objects tool in this one. I do not use custom content. I do want to do some custom content stuff. I just need to be more prepared to do it, because I would like to provide you guys the links if I do have custom content so that you guys can have it as well. So when I started decorating, the layout calls for a full bed, and I was really excited when she laid down and slept in both sides of the bed, but she can't get out. So a full bed will not fit in this room. I try it with a bunch of different beds, thinking that the beds are all different sizes. They're not. I didn't want to put a full bed against the wall. So what I decided to do was, let me work on the bathroom and get the bathroom done. Now, I did make some changes with the bathroom. The toilet was supposed to be next to the bathtub, but for some reason in my mind I said no, don't put the toilet next to the bathtub, even though I'm pretty sure everybody's toilet is next to the bathtub. I don't know why I thought that would be weird, but I just thought it was going to be weird, so I moved the sink next to the bathtub. And then the only reason I tested the bathtub was I thought that it wouldn't work because I faced the bathtub facing in a different direction. So I had to test it. And then I turned this into a bathroom slash washer dryer room, laundry room, washer dryer room, a laundry room. And I actually liked how this little bathroom turned out because of all the cabinets and everything. And when I'm designing or putting together houses that have no reference, like the inside had no reference aside from what was given. So color schemes come to me on a whim in a way, because I never really say I want this bathroom to be this unless I know the character of the sim that's being played. And if I have a specific desire for the sim, specific personality. Now for this sim that I made, my sim, she's pretty much moving into her first ever starter home, and it's a basic cookie cutter house, cookie cutter kind of cabin, so everything's pretty modern, straightforward, painted, not really decorated. And the way that I do end up decorating this house is like an initial, hey, I just moved in, had a couple $100, had to personalize it and add my own stuff to it. So it is very cookie cutter stylish in a way. Now the layout called for a fireplace in the corner. Sims doesn't have any fireplaces in the corner, so I decided to start working on the kitchen. Everything in the kitchen is where it should be: the sink, the fridge, the stove, and then I just added the cabinets for added effect. I recently got into really using the cabinets. I was watching the Sim Supply and found out about the cabinets, surprisingly, after playing the game for so long. I had no idea about the cabinets. And then just trying to separate the rooms a little bit, even though it's a small house, giving each area its own feel in a way. The color scheme, after watching the video now, the color scheme is very bland and the same, but I digress again. I try to keep, when I get to one specific color scheme, I kind of stick with it throughout the house, unless I'm doing something specific. If it's just one person, then they can add their own flair, their own decorations, walls on it. I usually call these little houses that I do just starter homes, or flip this house in a way like, here's a starter home for you, now make it your own and change the colors, paint the walls, all that stuff. And with cookie cutter homes, they all have the same blinds. I don't know why. Bless you, baby. Everybody say bless you to Orion, my kitty cat. So I just tried to make the living room work as much as possible, because it wouldn't fit the two couches, and then of course it would not fit the table, the coffee table either, so we had to kind of work around that as well. I had to settle for a single bed because the full bed wouldn't work, and then of course the single bed couldn't be in the center of the room either, and I was getting so frustrated with that room. And I probably should have made it bigger, but I didn't think that the bathroom could be one tile smaller. It probably could be one tile smaller, but I don't think she would have enough. I would have to get rid of a lot of stuff in there. Another thing that I wanted to do was incorporate some way for her to sit down. And so I decided to use the cabinets. Kitty cat, no. my cat's trying to walk on my keyboard. Oh my goodness. So using the counter option, I was able to use bar stools and everything. The funny thing is, when I had her test it, when she went to go eat something, she didn't sit down. Like most Sims, if they don't have an immediate option that's like the most simplest option that's not going to waste a ton of energy, I don't think, they're not going to use it. And every single time I want my Sim to do something specific, like, okay, when you eat, you sit down at the bar, she didn't do that. But luckily, she can sit down there. It made me really, really happy. And then once I was done with that, I said, okay, let's decorate. What would you bring into an apartment or a house or anything like that? Initially, of course, dishes, utensils, some towels, maybe like the magazine rack, which is something I thought that'd be cool to add a little depth and into the house, a little bit more character. And instead of adding a dresser or a full-size dresser, I thought it'd be cool for her to have a little desk and a journal. I couldn't afford a laptop, but just starting out in your new home, a little journal to write everything down, your journey, and adding the bathroom specifics, giving it a little bit more character. And I hate the mirrors in this game. You can't resize them, and you can't, they always have a specific spot. And I know why, because, the mirror and the reflections and everything. So I just added on the finishing touches and trying to give it an overall homey feel overall. And I really enjoyed playing around with this. I really enjoy playing around with this little lot. I love little builds because they're a challenge, and then they help kind of hone in a skill a little bit. And overall, it just feels so homey and just simple. It's not overly decorated because I was trying to keep with that budget, that $18,000 budget. So I add the final touches on this and then forgot that I had to do landscaping. I think once I placed down these last few little objects, I completely forgot that I should probably put some trees in the yard. So yeah, I think it's after the towels. After the towels, I realized that I had no landscaping. And so I went outside, and I had no idea the kind of theme that I wanted. I added the railing because it just looks better with some railings instead of no railings at all. You don't want people to fall off. And ended up moving the house and couldn't figure out for the life of me what I wanted to do with the landscaping. The rose bushes, the dead rose bushes look really, really cool, but I'm not really big into the landscaping. So towards the end of the video, towards the end of the build, I told myself maybe this is a house, like a cookie cutter house that was just placed here and built there, so like no landscaping has occurred. She hasn't, invested in landscaping and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure I plan to have her do some gardening in the backyard. And I didn't realize how expensive trees were. Like, these pine trees were really expensive, but luckily the Vampires expansion pack gave us $1 trees, so I was able to do these real quick $1 trees and add a little bit of depth of character, and I couldn't find anything else to really match. This would be a nice little cabin house. And here's your tour. Hope you guys enjoy the tour of this house. I had a lot of fun building this house. I have more builds planning. Like, in the planning process, I do want to upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. If you like this build, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it. You can find this in the gallery under SimSynthesis. I'll be happy to see you guys download it. And if you have a better way of decorating this house or redoing this house, I would love to see it. Please leave all your comments down below, any suggestions, and I will see you guys again, hopefully on Monday, with a brand new video, a brand new floor plan, and a brand new challenge. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you again later. Bye, everybody!